There's so much going on between Elon Musk's Doge at the behest of President Trump, the border crossings dramatically down, leading to the closing of the migrant shelters all over the place. I mean, just good news after good news after good news. Every day is Christmas. And yet the left is pretending that we have buyer's remorse over Donald Trump. Is there any Trump supporter who isn't ecstatic at the first month of the Trump administration? Should we make that? Should we do that effort? Should we do one of those drills where we invite people who don't like Donald Trump to call the show and explain why you have buyer's remorse? Are you serious? And so I want to start with something that happened organically on a Southwest Airlines flight. Somebody took out a cell phone and captured the moment. A guy on a Southwest Airlines flight wearing a red MAGA hat took over the PA, got on the PA at the front of the plane, and led the passengers in this impromptu chorus that is absolutely certain to put a smile on your face.
And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me, and I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
That's a whole plane full of people. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of buyer's remorse going on in America, right? There's a lot of disappointment, huh? That's the mood in America. I had dinner last night with Chris Stigall, who's our morning host on many of our stations around the country, in our Salem family, and Chris said to me, have you ever seen Sebastian Gorka giddy? Seb Gorka, who is now heading up counterterrorism efforts under Mike Waltz in the Trump administration, he almost looks like he's drinking, and he doesn't drink. But he's so happy every day. He's euphoric. He's ecstatic. Every day's like Christmas. Did you find the Harry clip, the Harry Sisson clip? We'll find that for you. I want to play that. I thought you would have gotten that last hour. But I want to play this kid who says, oh, I told you. I warned you. MAGA has buyer's remorse. I warned you. And nothing could be, that's gaslighting, folks. That's what gaslighting looks like, sounds like, feels like. That is absolute pretending that there's an alternate reality. I've done this for decades. Never in my life have I experienced this kind of thrill at what my government is capable of doing. And they're just getting started. This is a month in. It's a blink of an eye. This is a blink of an eye. And to turn around and claim that anybody suffering from buyer's remorse is astounding to me. Dan Bongino, Deputy Director of the FBI. Kash Patel, Director of the FBI. Pam Bondi. Do you know what these people are going to do to the scoundrels? They're going to go after them. There's going to be accountability. So we're going to find this clip, and I'm going to bounce it off of you, and then I want to find out where you stand a month in to this Trump presidency as we proudly broadcast from the National Religious Broadcasters Convention at the Gaylord Resort in Grapevine, Texas. Great to have you along for the ride here in the Relief Factor studios. Our number is 800-655-MIKE, and you may want to get a jump on that. Join me now. Call or text. How are you 30 days in, or 34 days, or whatever it is? Have any buyer's remorse? Have any feelings of regret? Are you sorry that Trump's the president? Are you disappointed in Elon Musk and Doge? Do you think some of these cabinet picks, are you disappointed in Marco Rubio or Kash Patel or Pam Bondi, or go down the list, Mike Waltz? 800-655-6453. Kicking off a busy breaking news Tuesday from the National Religious Broadcasters Convention in Texas. I'm glad you're here.
Mike Gallagher.
Here's a text message from California on the MyPillow text line. Mike, I'm a Ronald Reagan conservative, but I have to say that Donald Trump is the most effective president in my lifetime. I'm ecstatic with what he's doing in his second term. No buyer's remorse here. Well, I want you to hear from this kid, young guy, 20-something, Harry Sisson, social media influencer. You've probably seen him. He pops up all over the place on social media. He says we Trump supporters are having buyer's remorse. I mean, buyer's remorse, really? Every day's Christmas. Every morning is like Christmas and Easter and Hanukkah all rolled into one. Check out Harry Sisson. This is this young, far-left progressive social media influencer claiming this is how MAGA really feels.
It's crazy how it's only been a month and Trump supporters are already regretting their vote. We told you so.
I mean, now again, hard to get mad at him. I've got socks older than him. So he's young. He's trying. And look, there are all kinds of reports. He makes tons of money and the DNC pays him and he's got a lot of young people who follow him. Are you honestly feeling or experiencing buyer's remorse? If I'm any happier over the first 30-plus days of the Trump presidency, I'm going to get arrested. Lawrence is in Florida. Lawrence, welcome to the NRB here in Grapevine, Texas. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you today, sir? Thanks for taking my call.
You betcha. You betcha. Do you have any buyer's remorse?
Absolutely. I'm an Army vet that 7 over.
I'm sorry, we got a really bad cell phone connection. Teresa, see if we can get a better connection there on line 2 and reconnect Lawrence from Florida. Let's try Nicole in Houston. How about you, Nicole? How do you think Trump's doing so far? Nicole,
no
you there?
Buyer's remorse. Yes, no buyer's remorse here at all.
I mean, what's this kid thinking? What's he smoking?
I mean, they have to do something for shock effect, right? And I literally pinch myself every day. I cannot believe this is actually happening. We have a president who, with a backbone, who will stand up for what's right, and he doesn't care who is going to get in the way for doing what is right.
It's unbelievable. And, you know, the kids, I keep thinking of this expression, Trump doesn't have two craps to give. And I'm cleaning it up dramatically. But at the end of the day, he doesn't care what people think. He's got 4 years to turn this giant battleship called the United States of America around 180 degrees. He's taking this country in a completely different direction. And honestly, I want you to hear what Trump said about the genius. He was at the Oval. He was in the White House yesterday talking about the genius of the federal government workers being asked to be accountable for their work. They got an email, and they're livid about it. They're furious about it. In fact, let me start with the young federal worker, a woman named M.T. Snyder, who ran to CNN complaining about the email that she got this past weekend saying, tell us what you did last week. List the things that you did on your job last week. Failure to respond will be considered a resignation. Now, that's all up in the air. There's a lot of debate and drama about that. Who knows if that's really going to happen? But it's genius, because if you don't answer the email, you're not seeing the email. If you're not seeing the email, you're not working. If you're not working, you shouldn't be getting a federal pay. You shouldn't be getting a federal salary. This is not hard. This isn't a heavy lift. Do your job, show up, and be accountable to your bosses. Listen to M.T. Snyder. This is classic. This is one of the most epic clips I think I've ever seen on cable news. Here's a federal worker named M.T. Snyder complaining about the email she received the other day.
First, just tell us about this email and what it was like receiving it and what you all have talked about after getting it.
Sure. I got this email Saturday afternoon, about 3 p.m., and I felt absolutely infuriated getting this email with a demand within 48 hours to provide a response on what I did within the last week or face termination. This is clearly an attempt from Elon Musk to harass and bully and intimidate the federal workforce, which is part of his broader plan to gut the federal workforce and privatize public sector services to ensure that corporations like his own can get more profit. And that makes me really angry, and my coworkers as well.
You're really angry at being held accountable for what you did on the job last week. Can you imagine? I'm picture my boss saying, Mike, what did your show do last week? What were your revenue numbers? What were your ratings? Go through the, I'm furious. You're asking me to tell you what I did last week? I'm going to say that to my boss? And Trump said it yesterday. The president in the White House said there's a genius to this email. There's a genius to being asked, what did you do last week? And the genius lies in whether you answer it at all or not. Here's what the president said yesterday about Doge's effort to hold federal workers accountable.
Talking about the last email that was sent where he wanted to know what you did this week. You know why he wanted that, by the way? I thought it was great. Because we have people that don't show up to work and nobody even knows if they work for the government. So by asking the question, tell us what you did this week, what he's doing is saying, are you actually working? And then if you don't answer, like you're sort of semi-fired or you're fired, because a lot of people are not answering because they don't even exist. There was a lot of genius in sending it. We're trying to find out if people are working. And so we're sending a letter to people, please tell us what you did last week. If people don't respond, it's very possible that there is no such person or they're not working.
They laid a trap. Said, are you working? What did you do last week? How hard is it for you to respond to your boss over what you accomplished, what you did on the job? That's normal corporate America. That's what normal people do in insurance agencies and in car washes and in the office. And the federal worker is so enraged at that request, she ran to CNN to complain. This is infuriating. This is terrible. Jesse Waters summed it up perfectly on Fox News last night when he said, if you think an email asking what you did last week on your job is bullying or harassing or intimidating, you're part of the problem.
Ben Franklin, what did he say? What have you done to make yourself better today? What did you do to make your organization better today? So when I see a request like this, I'm inspired. Other people felt like it was demeaning. And if you think an email like this is demeaning, you're part of the problem. Because if you don't think you have to justify your job and you think you're entitled to your job, then that's why we need an attitude adjustment. This is what this was. This is an attitude adjustment. People need to be reminded that they're public servants. They serve the public. They're not there to serve themselves from the public piggy bank.
You know, the left is being exposed for opposing everything that's common sense. And this is the latest example. Years ago, I wrote a book, 50 Things Liberals Love to Hate. People on the left tend to hate all the things we love. I mean, and the list, it was kind of a comical effort, and the book did pretty well. They hate Walmart. They hate steakhouses. They hate the flag. They hate flag pins. They hate the Bible. They hate parents. They hate family. They just hate the things that's why I wanted to start the hour with all those folks singing God Bless the USA on that Southwest Airlines flight. That's organic. That's America. And that doesn't mean there's not room for people on the loony left. Hey, we'll take you. We got to live with you, but you got to live with us too. And right now, we're winning. We're winning. I hate it for you, but we're winning. 800-655-MIKE Moore from the National Religious Broadcasters Convention in Grapevine, Texas. Stay with us.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.